What's up guys, welcome to yet another 1105 AD Shaman video. Today we're gonna talk about a beginner friendly build because you guys find Surge of Power very hard, advanced build. So for the past 4 days I've been testing things and I have figured out this could be likely the easier build, one of the easier builds, plus it's really strong right now. It's pretty much the same thing as the advanced build with Surge of Power but with Aftershock, which Aftershock is, to be fair, probably twice as easy to play. So a lot of people will have easier time playing this build instead of Surge of Power. So I decided, you know what? Let's make a video for people that are starting to retro fresh or in general starting to play Shaman and trying to pick up the spec and trying to min-max it. And for all the people that are coming back to the game right now that are unsure what to press, when to press, this will make your rotation easier and likely reduce the brain activity whenever you play Elite. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so in regards to like stats and trinkets and all this kind of stuff, I already have several guides. You can check out my videos from before, but those stay the same. Nothing, I've changed absolutely nothing with my secondary stats. Again, I took a little bit of haze, like around 2% haze down, and I put extra 4% mastery, but that's pretty much all it has changed so far. As always, enchants and gemming and crafting all stay the same. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos, check it out. I've talked about builds and talents and stats and on for like 30 minutes, deep dive. So that's not gonna change. Now let's get to the rotation. The rotation itself, especially for AoE, is changing a little bit depending on the Gamba. I call it Gamba, depending on a procs you get from Aftershock. And again, Aftershock will guarantee you to get more DRE procs because DRE procs is based on how many spenders you get. And those spenders have a chance to reset, so technically you can have a more chance to get DRE procs, so which is like full casino build. For the AoE, pretty much what you want to do is alternate between Chain Lightning, Earthshock, and Earthquake. You don't care about Surge of Power because you have none. Even if you get back-to-back procs, you can just do Earthshock, Earthquake, Earthshock, Earthquake without any Chain Lightnings in between. I don't ever cast Flame Shock in AoE. I don't ever cast Ice Fury in AoE. I don't ever cast Lightning Bolt in AoE. I only cast Tempest, Chain Lightning, Earthshock, and Earthquake. Now, a few specific things that a lot of people get confused here is I always try to use Earthshock and Tempest to spread lightning rods across multiple targets. But remember, if there's like a prior target, let's say it's a boss fight or there's some kind of a mini boss or important mob, I usually use my Earthshocks and Tempest on that target, even though it could be a slight damage loss. I prefer the safety of my group just to make sure that we kill that mob as fast as possible. Earthquake has a smart lightning rod feature, which pretty much means if your target already has lightning rod and you put Earthquake on it, it's gonna automatically go to the next target, so you don't have to worry ever about Earthquakes. That's pretty much the AoE rotation. One small difference as well is I like to use my Storm Ellie and Ascendance together. So Storm Ellie, Ascendance always together. And if you do have any on your trinket, for example, my Spy Masters, I like to use Spy Masters as soon as my Ellie is up or as soon as my Ascendance is up. That's pretty much the whole kind of feature here. Yeah, that's pretty much about the AoE. I can show you if you guys want to rotation here. But again, people in the videos have been complaining that I only do rotation, so I'm not gonna do it this time. Maybe you guys like it better. So yeah, when you guys prefer me to talk over the rotation, once again, for the AoE, Chain Lightning, Earthshock into Earthquake. Why do you Earthshock? Is because you're getting echoes of the Great Thundering buff, which will make your next Earthquake do a lot more damage. Tempest on cooldown. I never Ice Fury in Mythic Plus, I never Flame Shock in Mythic Plus, and I never Lava Burst in Mythic Plus. I never Frost Shock either, and Ice Fury. Nothing of that. I only do this on like 1-2 targets. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The only small thing that I do sometimes is whenever I go into the pack and I have full cooldowns, I like to press Frost Shock first, because look at this, because Ascendance is a fire spell, Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning is a nature spell, and if I use my Frost Shock immediately, I will trigger my EE, which is gonna be insane, right? So sometimes if my tank is gathering the pools, let's say, I apply a cheeky Frost Shock on its way here so I can get the effect. So pretty much 10% more damage for like 10 seconds during my opener. That's like a small min-max I do. All right. So speaking about single target, what do you do here? Now, honestly, for a single target, there's a few changes, as obviously. You don't have surge power anymore, which means you can spend Archshocks back to back, doesn't really matter. You can spend Tempest back to back, doesn't really matter. But one thing that matters is trying to utilize Lava Burst to buff you a Stormkeeper, to buff you Earthshock, or to buff you Tempest, right? So you don't want to cast back to back Lava Burst, Lava Surge. I still do cast Lava Burst and Lava Surge during Ascendance, but this time I'm a little bit more cautious and try to always alternate once Lava Burst, then after that Lightning Bolt, Stormkeeper, you know, Tempest, etc. Or for example, if I'm moving left and right, I try to cast maybe like a Frostshock here and there. Now, the big great question, do we Earthquake on a single target with Ecos? The short answer is yes. The long answer is it depends if the tank is gonna move the boss or not. Because if the tank is gonna move the boss and you Earthquake, you're gonna do less damage than Earthshock. So if we're going by sims, yes, you have to Earthquake on a single target. But if we go by experience, from my experience personally, tanks do like to move a lot some bosses. So it's just impossible. On some of the bosses, it's easy clap because they're stationary, but most of the time the tanks just keep on moving. And it's very hard for you to keep up the Earthquakes on a single target. But if you can do it, then do it. You're gonna gain more damage like that. Not a lot, but you're gonna gain some. At the end of the day, it's all about min-max, right? So yeah, let me just show you like recruit rotation again. It is very simple. I'm gonna try not to talk so you guys can see what I do. But yeah, it is very simple rotation. You just wanna use alternate Lava Burst. You wanna alternate Frost Strokes coming from Ice Fury to proc your EE. And that's pretty much it, right? Look how easy it is compared to like a regular rotation per se. I always like to use my Lava Burst to proc my Ice Fury, right? So as soon as you get Ice Fury to proc my Elemental Blast, sorry, I like to use a Fire Spell, which could be either Flame Shock or Lava Burst, and always try to empower my Earth Shocks with my Master of the Elements, which comes from obviously Earth Shocking. Sorry, Lava Bursting. That's pretty much your single target. I feel like it is most definitely a lot easier than, you know, what it was for Surge of Power, because I felt like a lot of you guys were super confused, like what to press, when to press. This is gonna make it easier. But as you can see, your sustain is also pretty good too. It depends actually on how many procs you get, right? That's why I call it Gamba build. Depends how many procs you're gonna get. It could end up even better. Usually it's a DPS loss on single target with SOP, right? So that's pretty much it. You can slow down the video and you can see on the bottom right here, that's pretty much the sequence of the spells that I press. But always I'll try to alternate between Lava Burst and either Stormkeeper, Lightning Bolt, or Tempest. I don't try to use Lava Burst back to back because of this buff, Master of the Elements. One small disclaimer. Oh, sorry, I didn't Earthquake on a single target because I wanted to show you that most of the time I don't do it, but Earthquake on a single target is most definitely a DPS increase if you can manage to keep the Earthquakes on a target, okay? It is gonna be a damage increase. One final thing, 2 targets. On the 2 targets, I am not fully convinced how things are gonna be, because again, there's no sims, it's just pretty much my own experience, what I've been doing so far. It's one of the hardest 2 targets in my opinion to play around right now. Now, during Ascendance, as you guys have noticed on a single target, I do use my Ice Fury to proc my Elemental Blast. On 2 targets, I try to not do it. On the 2 targets, what I do is I obviously Earthshock, Earthquake, but at the same time, I Chain Lightning if I don't have anything. I just Chain Lightning. If I have Stormkeeper, I Lightning Bolt. If I have Power of the Maelstrom, I Lightning Bolt too. I also proc Ice Fury if I don't have Ascendance to get my Elemental Blast. The fire spell that I cast is either Flame Shock or Lava Burst, depends if my target already has a Flame Shock. If it does, then a Lava Burst. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much on 2 targets what I do. Preferably, you would always like to enter 2 targets with at least some kind of a Maelstrom or Equals proc or something to make the pool easier for you. Again, 2 targets, I have not figured out exactly the best way to play it, but that so far has been the best for me. During Ascendance, I always chain lighting during Ascendance into targets. So far, I tried with Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is also fantastic, but I feel like chain lighting most definitely do a little bit more damage. If you have a proud target, perhaps do Lightning Bolt. The only difference here is during Stormkeeper, I like to Lightning Bolt onto targets instead of chain lighting. In any other case, it's gonna be chain lighting, Earthshock, Earthquake, and waving Ice Furies in between. Ice Furies so far, I try to ignore during Ascendance onto targets and only use that during Ascendance on one target. Anyway, I hope I was helpful. This build is much easier to play. I hope you guys having a good day and peace out. Have a good one. Any questions, boys? This is a beginner friendly build. Ask right away. Discord, Twitch chat, YouTube. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like, ask me. I got you. Peace out.